Have you ever had the opportunity to take something in stride? How do you take something in stride to supersize and grow your business? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom today is take something in stride. To take something in stride, of course, means to handle it, to deal with it in a calm and confident way, to just get down to business, to get things done, to deal with a difficult situation that you're faced with and confronted with. And are we ever faced with or confronted with a challenging or difficult situation when we're building and growing and starting and running and supersizing our business? Yes, a resounding yes. Can you say COVID-19? I don't think I have yet to meet a single individual, business, friend, acquaintance, online, social media, commenter, or contact that has not been impacted by COVID-19. Especially as we are growing and building and supersizing our businesses, we've been impacted by COVID-19. Did you take that in stride? Did you go with the flow? Did you figure out what you were going to do next and just keep moving without missing a beat? Because that's what this expression means. Or did you have to take time to pause, stop, reflect, pivot before you knew exactly what you were going to do? And if you're like millions and millions of other people, you're still in this limbo land of frozen where you're just barely surviving and getting by. You're really not doing much of anything. You're waiting for the world to go back to normal. But that is probably not going to happen. Not probably. It's not going to happen. What happens is change is occurring all the time, and we either figure out how to flow with it and go with it and make our life continue to work no matter what's going on around us, or we struggle and we have strife and problems and we fall behind. So this idiom, this expression has been around since the 1830s. 1832 was originally applied to hunting on horseback, where the horses would hit an obstacle and they'd have to jump over the obstacle. Well, did they have to slow down to jump, or did they just flow over the jump as if nothing had gotten in their way? And then in 1902, this was applied to horse racing, where a horse would be hitting its stride if it was, running and winning races and coming into its own. Well, how well do you and how do you go with the flow of what happens around you? I think of this idiom and many of the idioms we've talked about this month with respect to change and challenges that really remind us that it isn't what happens to us as much as how we react and respond and handle what happens to us. Do you have a way of dealing with changes and challenges and situations that come up? We're actually covering a methodology, a framework for just doing that and making it automatic in this month's Get Up and Go free, by the way, Get Up and Go Challenge. On the Get Up and Go Challenge page in Facebook, you can pop in every day and join us and learn what and how the SOAP framework works so that you can make change for you and your organization as easy as breathing. And I'm all about making my life and other people's lives easier. So what are some ways that you can handle things, go with the flow, take something in stride, and really not even miss a beat? Because guess what? There were business owners that actually exploded and thrived during COVID-19. And there are whole industries that have been created and will be forever changed and will be with us for a long time due to the impact of COVID-19. And this is happening around us all the time in every industry and every business. Change is always occurring. So we sure better have a good way of dealing with it. So how do we deal with it? Number one, we have to know what we want. We know what we want by being really honest with ourselves and saying, well, where am I right now? What's going on? What's the situation? And describing the situation in ways to ourselves, at least, that are realistic and what's really going on, how it's feeling, how it's looking, what our senses are seeing. But we have to include all aspects of that. We have to really be honest with ourselves. What's going on right now, and what do we want to be going on? What do we want, and where are we going? Then we have to consider, what are the possibilities? What are the different options? What are the different ways of dealing with this particular change or challenge? How did you deal with COVID? Are you dealing with COVID, or are you just waiting for things to change so that you can get back on with your life? Most people have come to the realization that things aren't going to change dramatically, so they better figure out how they're going to cope in the world that we're living in right now. Then once you've got ideas and you see that there's absolutely options out there and things that you can do, you pick and you choose. You make a decision amongst those alternatives and you pick the best thing and you immediately take action. You start moving and taking action, because nothing happens until we do something or we act and change. And then once you figure out what's working and what's moving you in the direction you want to go, you find ways to make processes out of that. Make it automatic so that other people, number one, you can delegate it to other people. Number two, you know that even if you're not 100% focusing and concentrating on that, that your business and your life will move in that direction. I've had to do this in a lot of different areas and aspects of my life. I've had illnesses, I've got a cold right now, and am I missing anything, or am I just taking it in stride? I'm just taking it in stride, because what's the alternative? Climb in bed for 4 days or 2 weeks? Not even an option in my book. It's my last week with my granddaughter. She goes to first grade this year. I'm not going to miss that. So we just take things in stride. So how can you find ways, and what ways might work for you, or what ways have you taken things in stride? Share in the comments below. I'd love to know your experience with this particular idiom or expression. I guarantee if you've been in business any amount of time, you have had to learn to handle things, handle problems, handle situations, take things in stride without missing a beat in order to keep your business going, in order to keep your business growing. That's it. That's our idiom for today. Have an amazing day. Any questions, any comments, any idioms you'd like to know the meaning of or the origin of, share in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? How might you use it in your business and maybe even in your life right now? Have an absolutely amazing day.